Doesn't matter how many counters you have. If you initiate on them first, you will just kill them. Especially with a draw aura. What do you make up about? I always say I feel Bane is not very good against Drow's threats.
We've seen it picked a lot versus the Drows too.
Yeah,
I don't think it's had good success versus it either.
Why would it be picked? What does it offer?
Well, it's a strong laning phase, of course. You get disabled, you get a sleep, you get an ult. And Feeble honestly doesn't do too much, I think, especially if you have these 2 damage auras. So, yeah, it's really hard to just get in a good position as Bane against Drow threats, in my opinion. You can get gusted, in this game you can get swapped, you can get stunned.
And yet we've seen it used quite a lot.
But what's the success on it? I think it lost quite a lot of game on the main stage as well.
Pretty sure we saw at least 2 or 3 of the Bane versus the Drows not do so well. So that's the team fight control.
It was nearly 60% win rate during the group stages, 22 picks.
Oh, I like this too, actually. So they picked this Jakiro, which it's of course you do.
I like this a lot.
And it's Spider.
Yeah, and a Brute Mother.
They left it.
I think the Jakiro is almost like a preemptive, soft way of dealing with the Brood. It's not a hard counter by any means, but at least it gives you another catch with the Ice Path, some AoE, some wave clear. It's not... You still get a Brood problem, but it could be worse if you pick some other support.
I think it was like a preparation. They picked this because they were like, all right, either Brood or PL is more than likely to come out, right? Now we're going to have the AoE disable. And also, Jakiro, it's good versus Willow. It's good versus Bane. You have the disable to stop the Willow going for the Shadow Realm TP and the long range disable versus that Bane. And
Alchemist. I am not...
Alchemist Drow.
They're like, we're not really doing a Drow strat, guys. We're backing off.
A lot of people think Alchemist actually counters Brood because you get a lot of gold for the spiders, but it's so hard to kill them. They need to stand still in the acid spray for like, what, 5-6 seconds? It's not going to happen. Not in this kind... Not when you play against Ramses.
It's a matchup that goes back and forth too, right? Like as the game progresses. Yeah. The Alchemist, once you hit like that 30-minute mark, you're that beast. But if the game progresses later, that's where Brood takes over, and you can actually kill the Alchemist in a one-on-one pretty easily.
It's quite scary though, the lane, right? I think Brood is going to deny every creep, and you can't really kill the Spiderlings too easily. I think you need to 2 hits per Spiderling.
First few levels should be okay for the Alch though, right? Like the first 3, he'll should be able to get a decent amount in the way, but then as those spiders start building up, you should see the Brood take over.
Do you think it's worth it? Because I think there's like level 4 or 5 maybe, that can one-hit the little spiders with a right click. Do you think is it worth it? I haven't honestly played the matchup, I just know...
Here's the thing, Quinn I feel like must have, because they left the Brood in the pool, they almost baited them into thinking they're doing a Drow strat and then got Alch, so this feels very telegraphed from OpTic. They intentionally gave VP Brood, knowing they could get Alchemist.
And I think this is from the second game they played in the group stages where they played the Brood against them.
Did they have the same Alchemist versus Brood? Okay.
No. But I think the idea is maybe Peter thinks, maybe they'll Brood a second game and we'll need a plan for that.
Yep. And game 1 it was banned out in the first stage, so I was like, we don't want to have a game 1 against the Brood, but now it's like we're up 1-0, we think we have a counter solution to a Brood in a draft, let's try this out.
Yeah, they played Brood Willow together in the second game. They also had Wraith King, a Weaver and a Silencer. A slightly different route this time around.
Then we get baited and support Alchemist, and we're like...
Support Drow Alch.
I wonder, do you guys think Jakiro and Venge are both supports here, or are we going to see some...
Yeah, they have to be, right? I mean, that would be what this team particularly play in the styles that they played 4s and 5s.
I wanted to see Storm actually, but then they picked the Alchemist. Yeah. Because Storm actually lanes quite well against Brood as well.
I mean, Zaya and PPD both played the Venge throughout TI. They can both play it very well. They can play it as a strong 4 or as a passive 5. The Jakiro, I'm not so sure because they haven't played that here.
It could be, I mean, it could be 33 playing the...
Yeah, it can be offensive Jakiro, can be support.
So Husker would be the pick where if you send Brood to a side lane, Husker could just destroy Alchemist. I imagine that's the idea behind that ban.
Yeah. I'm not sure VP really plays a Husker stuff.
Yeah, they do.
They do? I mean, okay, they play.
I think I've seen no one play before.
Yeah. They just play whatever anyways.
Yeah, they'll play everything.
Virtus Pros turn to
Bat this time.
Not really.
Last
not really a Drow partner. He's a ranged hero, but...
Yeah.
I mean, they don't really have any Drow partners other than Venge. Alright, what are we seeing last? The Brute mid. It's a tiny off lane. Maybe safe lane. No one's tiny is really good.
I think with the Bat Rider, what they're trying to do is just apply a lot of pressure in the lane, right? So they can take the focus off the Alchemist.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they're putting Bloodseeker versus that Alch and putting that Brood elsewhere.
Okay.
Might still be Bloodseeker safe lane as well.
Might well
which is
be.
not very good against Badrider though.
Indeed, our draft has concluded. 5 heroes have been selected by both teams. One team is 1-0 up. That's enough stats from me though. Let's get 60 seconds of stats from a professional.
Red, the story of this Game 2 draft has to be the Drow Ranger on the side of OpTic against the Broodmother. Drow Ranger coming in is 6-0 here on the main stage at TI. She's 19-6 overall in the tournament, including a perfect 3-0 head-to-head against the Broodmother. We talked before the last game. VP really needs to get no one going in this one. No one took until the 18-minute mark in the last game to hit 5K net worth. That has only happened to him 11 times in over 900 previous career games, but he's going to have a favorable lane matchup. We saw the Bloodseeker against the Alchemist last night. A level 10 versus a level 5 absolutely dominate that matchup. Don't forget though, although heavily countered, that Ramses Broodmother on the side of Virtus Pro. Ramses is 15-8 career. He has the highest gold per minute on that hero of any player with 10 games all time. Guys, sending you out for Game 2, the #1 team in the DPC, 4-time major champion, has their backs against the wall. Toby 1 and Cinder, take it away.
So Oak, the Broodmother is super effective when in the hands of Ramses. Will it be the same time this round? Like the
I was surprised to hear that Broodmother has lost 3 games to Drow in the group stage. This is one of the historically best heroes against Drow Ranger. She has no way whatsoever of dealing with the Spiderlings. She hates laning against the Brood. The mid game, the way you limit the map as Brood, where you take over the enemy ancient area, that's often where you see Drow play and farm that triangle, and you often can't access it against this.
It'd be nice to go back through those games and see how the side lanes went, because that's normally where the Drow Ranger has been just amping up everyone. The Drow's normally paired with the Weaver during the group stage, and these outer towers just fall very, very quickly. And the Brood's the only one who's got a good lane going their way. But let's get a bit of a bearing, see how everything will go. So no one isn't going to be heading towards that mid lane as the Bloodseeker, as we were kind of expecting. He'll be with Roger on the off lane, and as Ramses in the mid.
Not sure.
Unless they plan on switching.
It's a classic thing with Brood to fake out by placing a web, and in some ways you could say it doesn't really...
Actually, you're right. No one's build is actually for the mid lane.
He has mid items.
He has Quelling Blade mid items. So yeah, they must be faking this.
I mean, either that or he feels very confident in their side lane that he doesn't need regen against the Drow, which I think is actually okay on Bloodseeker to think that way. Drow is one of the weaker heroes at just harassing Bloodseeker out, as long as you get the CS.
You look at Ramsey's build, 4 Mangos, because 3 is just not enough. and then 3 Tangos and this down shield. So Ramses is ready to also tank up a lot. There's going to be a non-contest for the runes. The northern one's taken by OpTic, the southern one's by Virtus Pro.
That'd be some good gold for Mr. Alchemist. Fair trade-off. Alchemist gets an extra 150 gold from everybody else.
Sure, because that's just balance. I like this observable, very early planted down by OpTic on the top lane. So PPD and have very clear eyes on what Pasha is up to and how much support he's got. Roger, as the Dark Willow, will be looking to try and contest something. Dual Breath by PPD. And the Creep Wave won't stop to attack him. That was a good change because it will still burn to the Dual Breath. And, well, Pasha, all he can do is just beat into him, but the supports are here to try and be a nuisance. That's all they're here for. Stop Pasha from getting a good start, burn through the consumables, so the off-lane Drow Ranger and Plycat can have a good start. And it looks like OpTic have already read the lane up nicely too. No one is up against the Bat Rider, so 33 came to the mid lane instead.
Yeah.
They did not fall for it.
No one needs to respect the Bat Rider when he starts getting stickied up to 3 stacks. Especially, well, when 33 hits level 2, that's when it really gets scary. Bat Rider, however, can't really prevent Bloodseeker from just taking last hits unless he has multiple stacks up. Bloodseeker has a massive damage advantage in this lane. It's super easy to get all those CS. Bat Rider, obviously, a terrible hero at denying.
Real low. One more attack from Zion. Plycat would have finished that job. But you are right about no one. He could just tank through everything. He flew out the stick as early as he possibly could. So you'll have that double form of regeneration available.
33 does have a lot of mana though. He went for the null talisman starter here, and as well as a mango.
Oh,
so
top lane, Avalanche is out, the Bramble is perfect, Zai got locked in, one more attack is required, okay, Mega 2, Roger, that's a really short duration Shadow Realm, so Zai, thanks to stick charges, he'll go up, but remember when these players are low, you get a slightly buffed up hero, but it won't matter when Pycat's the real buff, the toss tree, Zai, how can he just keep living?
What was that from Roger?
I am
so uncharacteristic, just running in there, getting stunned and getting killed off. Maybe he thought he could get another attack or two off before the stun. He had the Thirst vision from the Bloodseeker.
Yep.
But I think he went in before the tree toss was ready from Pasha. And he did have to, I totally understand he went for the short Shadow Realm hit because Zai would have been able to fog him, but got a quick flask off and then into the tree line. So nicely played by him. And OpTic off to a good start once again. They're doing well in all three lanes.
At 33, he's like net worth-wise compared to no one. He's only 100 gold away, but as this bottom lane, Solo trying to come closer, body blocking up PPD, buying time for Ramses and his army to attack. CCNC will drop the acid spray, but PPD, way too much damage to try and sustain through. And now they can move out of the acid spray and down towards CCNC. A nightmare to reposition, but it looks like they don't want it. They just want to farm. Solo will get some harassment in. The CCNC has a salve, so all this harassment really counts for nothing. He'll be able to just salve it out.
I do think this is the first time this tournament that we've seen an Alchemist not in the mid lane, and this does matter quite a lot. The hero is very somewhere like, actually mid as well. No one is.
Defensive Shadow Realm. No one's being chased down. Forced to keep napalm charges up. He's got 6 stick charges. That won't matter. He's burnt down by the Batrider. Blood does boil.
But safe lane Alchemist is very different to mid Alchemist. You get the level 6 much later. You have less access to camps from this area. But OpTic still feel like it's the better choice than putting it against the Bloodseeker, and I definitely agree with that choice.
Ramses is feeding these Spiderlings. He's losing so many. Just saw 6, 7, 8 die, then you hit with the Liquid Fire. They battle under the Acid Spray, which CCNC purposely leveled up. He put it up to level 2 early on.
Oh, he's giving him so many.
This is very uncharacteristic. For Ramses, when he plays the Spiderlings in mid, he sends them off to the side camps. He goes and farms with them and doesn't put them inside the lane unless he was going to get something from it. Now he's fitting them off. Top lane, Zai trying to be a problem to Roger. Roger actually didn't even attack. He sat inside the Shadow Realm as long as he possibly could. And Zai, well, he's low, but he still kicked him. The toss is up, throw him back down again. Roger wants to help. Stick charges the Valve, but Roger came back in. The magic missile, it will not find the kill. But Pasha and Roger having to burn everything they've got, including time, giving a totally free lane to Pycat to get experience and the CS.
That was definitely a net win for OpTic, losing Zai in that situation. They get a full wave with creep kills and denies. Solo fighting up against PPD.
No concoction skilled up. No one wants to come in and fight the bottom lane. They just keep PPD in position, hold him down so no one gets buffed up. Ramses makes his own rotation over. CCNC, oh, no one's buffed. Won't last much longer. Actually, yeah, it will. CCNC just has no life to fight with. They'll see him thanks to all the vision, and Solo just brain saps, gets the kill. They want to ensure this Alchemist does not get ahead, because at the moment, the throw range is better buff everyone up and work with Zai to try and find the kill. Roger the neighborhood, the Curse Crown onto Zai will create a little bit of space, so does the Bramble. Pasha has to retreat, already burnt his wand charges. And Roger can't really harass much more. Zai is just all over them, pushing forward. Roger has the Shadow Realm available with the magic missile stun. Zai, Roger will have no other choice but to walk off. They want to do this because they have the Shrine.
They did not get the bounty rune now. Zai forced them both away, grabs both bounty runes and places an Observer. Very high impact play here from him.
So it's still a 2-2 split for the bounty runes, but remember you got an Alchemist on the field.
Yep.
It is a level 1, 3+3, but he's okay.
He's getting very, very rich.
He's at almost 3k net worth. Batrider's keeping up with him.
Oh,
Nightmare's out. Beating away at PPD. Ramses again really can't be part of this fight, and he knows it. Because CCNC's in a farming position, there's no concoction, so they go in again. There's no real save, so PPD, third death of the game. Trying to feed the beast that is Ramses while Zai Curse Crown onto him. Pasha, Avalanche, tossing the Drow Ranger in, putting Pycat inside the Bramble. The tree toss will connect, and Pasha with a double kill on this safe lane. OpTic, they're still ahead, but they're having some issues on the sides.
It seems a bit similar to game 1, where OpTic had this really great laning setup. They got the lanes that they wanted, they won the lanes, but then VP were still pulling the gold back. However, in that game, the mid-game situation that VP found themselves in was almost impossible to deal with. Here, however...
Lasso is going to be available, pulling back no one, no Firefly up, but it won't matter with the magic missiles there. Solo thought about a attempted save with the Nightmare, but he would have to burn his one charges to make it work. So that doesn't happen, but Ramses will dive onto the T1 tower on bottom lane. A huge army of spiders, that's where the dual breath is out, and Ramses has to hide in the trees with his spiders. And wants to keep harassing into CCNC while there is no level 6, no chemical rage. This harassment from Ramses can be useful.
He's almost level 7 and CCNC is 4.5.
No one's coming in to help out.
Nice.
There's your blood right out, and bottom lane, CCNC will fall while the stun's over on Roger. He'll have to hide inside the Shadow Realm, and well, the stuns, he's got some distance. Roger's still on the run. Zion Pycat, one more attack from Pycat. It's not enough. Stick charges, they just keep the run going. CCNC's doing the same thing. He's managed to walk all the way back to the shrine, and no one rotating before he has Rupture does not find the kill, but they find Solo. Dual Breath, Concoction, not available, won't matter. Bloodrite tries to buy a little bit of space. Nightmare keeping the Batrider out of this play. He's got no extra life, or does he? With the one charges, 50 HP. Yeah, 33 can't reach him. No extra control, no slow. Everyone walks away.
I can't believe CCNC survived that bottom fight. He was floating on 1% health for like 5 seconds against a thirsted Bloodseeker, but they couldn't close the distance and get the kill.
They're up
and now instead...
Flame Break trying to create a little bit more space. The Bloodrite is out. Lasso, 33 tries to reach it, but silenced up under the tower. But with the Firefly, he should have the damage until Pasha arrives. Avalanche is out with the Brain Sap. They can find some revenge on the 33. He's probably the bigger kill now, considering no one was a non-factor. Nightmare has to be switched off. Zai creates space and will sacrifice himself with the Bramble. It connects on CCNC. Solo with the body block. He's got the Cursed Crown on top of him too. Alchemist, you won't survive from this one. Or can you? The stun from Zai creates more space. Roger will still finish the job. The Pasha has to run away from the illusion of the Alchemist. They're starting to punch him down. Underneath the tier 1 tower, he will now be safe.
Meanwhile, Ramses killed PPD again.
Sure.
That's the 4th time. I found it interesting that the panel were talking about here. Oh,
he's in a little bit of trouble. One hit from no one. It's not going to be enough. Rupture up. Pycat able to reach and get a TP in time.
I personally find Broodmother one of the worst heroes to play against this Jakiro. You would think, in theory, that, oh, you have 2 attack speed slows against these Spiderlings, but they can outmaneuver you really easily. And if you don't survive with the 2 attack speed slows, you die afterwards. They just run you down. You're a very slow hero. This game, PPD he's not even close to Boots. And Ramses, he just owns this map right now. Bottom lane is dead.
PPD has one of the lowest levels. Roger's actually there with him, but it's the 595 net worth of the captain. The real sacking. Same with the Vengeful Spirit. He's a little bit higher up, however, but Virtus Pro are avoiding the bottom 2 net worth positions. Sai and 33. It looks like they're on a hunt to die a jungle, but no one's attacking that top tower, so they're probably wondering exactly what OpTic are up to, or maybe what VP are up to. Pasha and Solo coming down to the bot lane. No level 6 on Solo. They don't have Fiend's Grip. Pasha under the cover of smoke, and with the Fog of War, they close the distance on CCNC. He'll get the Chemical Rage off, where they surround him. Brain Sap, Avalanche, and with the combination, Chemical Rage cannot regenerate that. And 33 looks like he was finding his target, which was the Bounty Runes. So ruptured up. Just have to wait and let Zai take the runes instead.
That's a big loss for Alchemist. He dies, and he's only got 1 Bounty Rune. And they got it while he's dead.
They're after Peter again, tossing in the Bane for a Brain Sap, combining with Roger's heavy damage from inside the Shadow Realm, and they even get the rooting on 33. So Virtus Pro looking to get that aggressive bone of their body flexed. While Ramses takes the tier 2 tower on bottom lane, that's a huge army of spiders, and CCNC will try and come and farm it up. He can't do it. Pasha's already returned, and CCNC no Chemical Rage for 6 seconds.
Ramses has his ulti ready. He hits really, really hard into this low armor Alchemist.
He just needs Pasha to connect on the stun, or else this doesn't work.
Going. Yep, and now they're going.
Yep, attack in, Pasha wraps it around the back, TP support's on the way from the Vengeful Spirit, no one's in the neighborhood, he's got Rupture off cooldown 1 second time, so Zai will arrive, but can they get out of this one? Virtus Pro. Zai's looking for the stun, looking for the target. The army of spiders turn around. 33 has drop charges, not committing it for the chase. Instead, he's just napalming up onto Pasha, but now the rupture. It's onto the Bat Rider. They've got no follow-up. There's no mana on no one. He can't even do a Blood Right just yet. Now, they get a little bit of extra vision. 33 forcing him down. So you get a little bit of extra movement speed. Really low 33, so no one. He wants to go back into this one. Pasha almost ticking out to the flame break, but it's PPD who's actually going down thanks to the enabling of 33's low life. Pasha and Rams are barely clinging it to themselves, but they don't have a Bloodseeker going against them.
Ramses, he will regain that health very quickly with the insatiable hunger. He didn't use it before. Of course, the regen as well, so... Yep, it's looking tough for OpTic. I feel like every single Alchemist game that we've seen where Alchemist is struggling or his team is behind on net worth at this stage, it's so hard to come back. Alchemist is not very strong. They don't have the greatest partners for the Drow Aura, like the panel talked about. You pick Drow with Alch. Nobody truly uses Drow Aura in this game except Avenge. Bat Rider doesn't really attack very much. PPD doesn't really have boots very much, so can't really hit anyone.
Good observer was seeing no one, Roger leaving the bottom lane, or maybe actually watching him return. Diffuser Blade is on Ramsey, so he knows he can try and take this fight against CCNC. He runs away, Diffuser Blade charge was already used, CCNC. They're actually going in deep, way too deep. Solo's got it, he's actually got too much distance. He can't catch up. Ramsey's. I am uncertain about what that was. Now they try and turn. No one with the double damage route. Needs to be a little bit lower. Looking for a good rupture target. The Nightmare protects for a moment Dark Willow, but it's still going to be a death. Virtus Pro. What were they looking for? Apart from death? No one. He can get the kill on Desire, get a little bit more life to survive. He's able to do so. Needs to keep the run going. One charges cannot. Actually, they've already been burnt. They could not help him anymore. And Virtus Pro questionable.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
At the best. And that was, I don't know. It feels to me like on this main stage, VP are making to be fair, they did it in the group stage as well, just these uncharacteristic, really over-aggressive plays. They had very limited info on what OpTic were up to. And Ramses went for that super deep dive without backup.
PPD's walking into the support combination. Pasha coming in with a Blink Dagger, wants to be able to be useful, and he's able to just toss a tree and clip a dragon.
He got boots though. He's there. The dragon has made a lot of progress. Those kills bottom were actually very big for PPD. He was probably the biggest winner in all of that together with the Alchemist.
They're swinging about 3,000 in the gold, about 2.5k in the experience bar.
Yep.
But can they keep it up though? Like that was one big mistake from Virtus Pro. Ramses is still adding pressure, and with a Blink Dagger on a Tiny, he's looking to do a lot of damage. And if they can find 33 to begin with, it's possible, but the TP's already coming onto the Shrine. PPD coming in further, and the Terrorizer are all going to start to run away. Bat Rider, it's a good macro fire, burning up the Spiderlings, but the rest of VP just split nicely. Their ability's getting wafted. Very uncertain about this Virtus Pro, and they still, like Pycat, he's not involved in any of this.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He doesn't want to look at Brood. Just wants to play on the other side of the map all the time. This seems to be a very conscious team decision from OpTic. In order to get Drow into this game, she has to get some key items. Looks to be a potential Pike build-up here for Pycat.
He's got Dragonlance. The net worth doesn't appear to be too amazing.
No.
But it's still not terrible. It's 5k net worth. Pasha just takes out Zayas, the Observe Ward up on the hill. It allowed him to see the supports.
He being dove. They're not making that mistake again. Well, maybe Ramses would have, but he wasn't there.
Maybe Pasha's finally going to try and do something about Pycat coming up for the runes. Pycat was able to claim one of them, and the only unclaimed one is on the bottom lane now.
CCNC ends up getting a 15-minute radiance from the safe lane as Alchemist with 4 deaths. This is a pretty damn good timing, all things considered. He was having a rough time. Remember, he was level 4 when Brood was level 7. And obviously, Ramses is still way ahead on experience with the 13 to 9. But Alchemist is going to start ramping up now.
Yep, and he needs to make this work. Being in an Alchemist game when you're 2k gold behind is not the way they want to be playing this.
Nice play from Pycat there. TP's in further than 9.
CCNC, spiders. Oh, watch him pop. Only got 6.
CS on the Alp. He's got so many Spiderling kills in this game.
142. He is actually 22 in front of the Broodmother.
Ramses has given him a lot of spiders. That's why his game is so good.
33's looking for some more too. The spiders in the trees. They're scouting out as much as they possibly can. No one's still just farming up. He's almost completed up the blade mail. I'll use the rest of the team to fight. Roger's looking for earn charges. Tiny's looking for blood. He'll walk close to the observer ward, but just around the edge. But he was noticed for half a second, Roger. Oh, he was beginning to terrorize, wants to try and get Batrider just to push himself into the bramble, but now Pasha, avalanche toss combination. Into the Shadow Realm, protection for Roger. They get the pick off on the initiator for OpTic Gaming. And this should finally be the death of the T2 tower on bottom lane.
And surprisingly enough, OpTic actually had superior vision in that area. You see they have the Tinker ward and they have the ward out in the jungle for 33, so he saw everything that was happening and still ended up getting caught out and killed off. Will lose his bottom T2 tower for sure as a result of this, and now you gotta imagine that VP wants to start crossing into the map, cross into middle, get control of the Roshan area as
They've got
Dire.
Vengeful Spirit. OpTic was crossing over the middle. Yep. Underneath an Observer and Sentry. They've got so, like, am I counting 7 Sentry wards on the field right now for OpTic? Yeah.
I found 6 so far.
They got 3 in the mid lane and they got 4 inside their own jungle. It's
7.
It's this never-ending battle to try and just remove VP's vision, but I'm seeing 2 Observer wards still up and running.
Yeah.
And now they go for mid. Rupture and the toss, the damage! CC can't help but burn. That combination is sweet!
That was the same combination we saw from LGD against Liquid yesterday when they had these exact 2 heroes against Alchemists. So VP might have been a bit inspired by that and showing why it works there. This combination is really, really powerful. Just wait until no one has more move speed or has a mobility item. They could one-shot the Alchemist in theory.
Well, you just you toss him towards the Bloodseeker who's running real fast and he just keeps going and going and going and going.
He runs as far as he can.
Is there a Is there a maximum range on that? Knowing how fast Bloodseeker can move, can he outrun a toss?
No. I mean, it still does land. It makes an art, but this can definitely create more distance than what no one did there very easily. Maybe 1 Force Staff.
OpTic Gaming is
that's very gimmicky.
Yeah, it really is. That's what I'm just thinking. Oh, have we now just created the new fountain hook? Ramses is being hunted. That's why the smoke is up. They're trying to find the Broodmother inside the jungle. Now he's got a little bit of help now nearby him as Ramses. The initiation will come, swap him out. Pasha, he's wondering if he really wants to be involved in this. Maybe he can get a kill over on Zai, but yeah, as you said, BKB. Ramses can stand his ground and fight. Gus doesn't do jack against this. And Pycat, he almost died to the blood right. Virtus Pro rampaging forward, looking towards CC&C. They still have Rupture up, the TP, the Nightmare. PPD was almost out of there, but now they find extras. CC&C brought down the old-fashioned way, terrorized to stop the TP out. That was to try and escape the Rupture, and PPD, take me, I'm yours. That's what he does. No other way to escape. Fastest way back to base is through death.
Yeah, it actually looked like he wanted to die on purpose. Yep. They tipped him though. Good job. More of that, please.
PPD's the expert denial.
That was a 5-for-0 fight for VP, very easy. With that BKB getting off on the Broodmother before he got lassoed, and OpTic tried to do that pretty quickly too. They swapped into lasso, but still the reaction from Ramses fast enough. And the moment he was BKB, that was impossible. You saw what's Drow supposed to do? Like when there's a Brood on top of you, there's no play available for Pyke. He's working on a BKB now instead of that Pyke. It's not going to help. If he gets Brood on top of him, he's out of the play. Like, that's just
top lane, Zion's being initiating on again. This time Roger has the full duration Shadow Realm attack.
Virtus Pro are definitely biting back in this game. It still wasn't the cleanest early game from them. A couple of deaths, especially that Ramses dive, they've stabilized now.
That's why there's been a lot of questions around Virtus Pro. It's like, are they really the same team that we know and love? Bottom lane, here's that fight once again. So Ramses able to get the BKB off. At least Ice Path stunned for half a second. That's kind of the biggest upside of this entire fight. OpTic Gaming just in full retreat, picked off 1 by 1. There's just no way that I can see that they can actually stop this, especially when VP are able to slowly change their abilities.
And in the aftermath of this, VP got 4 bounty runes, a top tower, and now the Aegis. So, big win.
Look at that smile.
Roger's happy.
That smile.
He's feeling good.
He's a happy man. He'll be happier once the Aegis Immortals in the hands of Virtus Pro, and they are going to give it to Ramses.
Yeah.
Like how no one also wants Clarity Pop switch in the Ogre Club, get the extra strength up. Now they've got that front line that they've been looking for. Ramses with Diffusal and BKB. Looking really immortal, and he's going... Also, we actually got coming. He hasn't bought anything else just yet, but we have the Echo Saber up for Tiny. Kind of the unsung hero Pasha in this game with his rotations around.
He has destroyed. He's 11-0-6. Has been making so many plays all across the map. Probably the highest impact player for VP in this particular game. And I think this is the second time we see this from his Tiny. Was the other one a main stage game or was it a group stage game? I think it was the last group stage game we cast against VGJ Storm, where Pasha also had a game on Tiny where he just totally took off. It seems to be a very comfortable pick for them. Also, no one plays an excellent Tiny, so be worthy of a ban if there's a third game, which looks overwhelmingly likely right now.
Yep. VP can hold, but and again, they're going up high ground pretty soon. Alchemist now has the Manta Style plus the Radiance. He's still number 1 on the net worth. Yeah, maybe Alchemist isn't the one you meant to be looking at. First, you should be looking at PPD, who could potentially die in just a second. Okay, in fact, yeah, that was a second.
Good prediction.
Stolen your dogs for a little bit.
What did they see him with?
He came down the ramp for half a second, and then they just blind blinked up.
Yeah.
I just thought he was sitting on the edge. They're battling backdoor regeneration. 33 is keeping that bottom lane pushed, and he needs the space to get the Blink Dagger. Without the Blink Dagger from the Batrider, they just can't get that quick initiation. The Virtus Pro won't give him that time. The Blink Dagger is still too far off. He's only at 1,800 gold. And he's the 2250, and Virtus Pro are coming high ground. This is 23 minutes in, and VP are breaking the base.
Yep. Sitting on that insatiable hunger right now is Ramses, not using it to deal tower damage just yet.
They really want to try and combo this. Negative armor as much as you possibly can. Wave of Terror, get down the Acid Spray, give a chance to do some damage. But VP, they got the TP rotation to come back, but Batrider now has the Blink Dagger.
This is the key item of the game. If VP push and they get lassoed and swapped, the defense can definitely come in from OpTic.
See how much VP want to keep pushing. I just saw that for a half second, Solo's backpack stash, he's got 4 salves. It's like, okay, we take the fight and then we'll heal up nice and quick and then just push once more. There's not enough earn charges on Roger. Save them for the fight. Tier 2 tower is still taking a lot of damage. Tro turns on her aura. 4 range creeps. Do some good damage. Plus 60 for them all. Sacrifice would not be vain.
Damn, OpTic are so cornered.
Yep.
This is what we like to call family farm, where everybody just walks after good old Alchemist.
I think there's limited food on this family table.
Yeah. They're starving, man. Sad.
That's a good sentry ward that Pasha will have to get rid of. His Shadow Blade is his second initiating item. Looking for their targets. Took a little bit longer. Before you'll see the timeout of the Aegis. It's about a minute and a half.
VP won the 25-minute bounty runes, then they might look at their next move. So much gold to be claimed on the map, and as always, it has that extra value of being against the Alchemist.
OpTic are coming for that next move. They have 5-man smoke up, they're running out through the bottom lane into the jungle.
This move is successful.
Everyone's not there yet. No one doesn't have a TP scroll. He can't join this fight quickly.
Oh, that's...
The only thing he'll actually give him is Thirst.
Actually a relatively big blunder right now.
They may just walk into Roger. That's the worst hero, unless they got that. Blink reveal, lasso is up. Shadow Realm from Roger will not come in time. Pycat was even committing the gust for it, but you see Virtus Pro. They turn their attention. They want to come for the fight, and Pasha comes in close range. You'll get the avalanche done over on 2, but the Ice Path is good from PPD with the Door Breath and the Macroplier. They can actually have some damage on this choke point, swapping Ramses back out again, so we can't just fight with the Fiend Script. It called out 33. Solo had the high ground position, but support, it's arrived. No one's in the engagement. They were so low, he moved so fast, and they'll keep the chase going. CC&C, TP out will be successful. Zai, however, will not be so lucky. The last man left standing. He knew he was dead. A triple kill for Ramses. As Virtus Pro looked a little possible that OpTic could take that fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It swung the other way.
That was basically a 3-on-5 for
Pycat. He has the sentry ward, so he sees him. That's the only thing that's stopping the avalanche toss combination, but that's now gone. They're even tipping Pasha while he's getting the kill. Punches him up the hill. And Pasha is now 13-0-8. He is well beyond godlike.
That Echo Saber. It looks so cool at time with the second hit. For him to hit that fast, gets that kill on the Drow. What did OpTic get? They got 2 bounty runes at the very least. So considering that they're behind, this might have looked pretty bad, but the end outcome being 11k gold behind is probably better than what would have happened if they weren't trying anything. They got out on the map, they got some sort of fight.
33. They were looking for the jump in over, but Roger, he already jumped inside the Shadow Realm. They're chasing down Zai. The army moves forward of Spiderlings. And Zai will fall once again. This is not a happy day for supports. Maybe Zai should be happy. No, he shouldn't. He's 0-9 and PPD is 110. There's no happiness to be found.
And Zai did really well in lane. Let's not forget, he actually played a very good early laning stage this game on the Venge, but getting swarmed right now, quite literally, by spiders. Neither of these supports good at dealing with the Brood. Really, OpTic don't have anything that's good at dealing with the Brood, except arguably Lasso can be okay, but can they even kill him in the Lasso is the question. There's now 36 armor on this Broodmother. All of the OpTic damage more or less is physical coming out of their cores, only the Bat Rider with a bit of magical. We could count PPD, but it's...
No, we can't count PPD.
Jakiro's magic damage, it just takes so long. Like, you can't really burst.
So when you look, it looks like Pyke had to start doing some damage, but he's full defense. He's going BKB up as the next item. He's really the non-factor, and I fear that like CCNC, for all the farm that he's got, he's also a non-factor. He cannot get the Rupture off him. So if no one gets that down, there's no way for CCNC to move in these fights. And we also have to remember that OpTic Gaming, they willingly put themselves in this position through the draft. They left the Brood in through the second ban phase.
Did they do it willingly though, or did they forget?
There's no way you forget the Broodmother with that. Unless you're like, oh, the Alchemist is a great counter.
It's possible. This draft, I'm questioning it. I'm honestly not sure, because for me, this solution from OpTic just doesn't look like they were very well prepared for Brood. Sure, you can pick an Alchemist into it, but the rest of your lineup's not good against it.
That scan was only like 3 seconds late. If it was a little earlier, 33 would have been pinged out by that, and Parsha would have known exactly where to go to find him in the tree line. Space is being created a little bit, so Pycat, he has the BKB bought up, is coming out in the courier now. He can at least have it for the next fight. That's if he can get back inside the base. You see Parsha just moving down. He has to blink away, but the Shiva's Guard connects on him, so he can't blink away. Terrorize being used to force everyone away. It hit both the Alchemist and the Drow Ranger. Parsha swapped back into the Macro Pyre, and where's the real fight? The BKB from Pycat. He can stand. Lasso onto the Brood, but the BKB was already up. Someone's going to kill off Zai at the moment. He's killing off Solo. No one. He's in the engagement. The Rupture is out. Drow Ranger standing its ground, but it's OpTic Gaming who are coming out on top. The Blade Mail from no one. He'll TP out to safety. PPD, he's surviving through this with a stun from Zai, who TP'd out. He can help and keep his captain alive for at least half a second longer. The Parsha revealed. Avalanche tries to create a little bit more space. Concoction from CCNC. Control and kill. What a massive 1-2. 900 gold, a 10-time kill streak. And Virtus Pro, the foundation shake.
That was a big outplay from OpTic the way they started that fight. They managed to get off to a significant enough advantage in the beginning of that fight that they can clean up some heroes. Ramses was low enough to get killed in his BKB. The Tiny obviously playing the majority of the fight on 1/3 health. We see it here. So first off, they get in on Pasha. Look how spread VP are. The Bloodseeker's all the way at the top lane. No one was taking the tier 2, so he has to cross all the way down. He's still not here. Still not here. Brood, half HP, gets lassoed up. Drow for once gets to hit something.
Well, now they're looking to fight in mid lane. CCNC ruptured but runs it off. So he does actually have the life to survive the rupture with a level 3 chemical rage now available for him.
I just checked out the win probability graph based on Dota Plus prediction. That was a 20% win rate swing.
Okay.
That one fight. They were 75% favored before this, or 74. And yeah,
Virtus Pro need to sync. They need to sync. Like this is what the second large fight that we've seen. No one late to the engagement. Virtus Pro, like they looked to fight on bottom. Pasha was just looking for a pick off the Drow Rangers as she ran back.
They're way too.
But they want to go through mid.
They were too thinly spread, and OG, yeah, well that's what their logo says. OpTic were. They just took advantage. They saw the Bloodseeker was that far where they're like, this is our one opportunity that we've had for quite a while. Let's just go for it and see what happens. And it was a good one. I think VP have to not be. They seem a little bit greedy with their hero spread on the map. It's not that safe. This is a big one though.
Yep. Observers and sentries down from on both sides of the river by VP, but what it doesn't see is the observer and sentry OpTic Gaming. So Pasha waits around the back, dewarding is out, Blink Lasso, there's a Nightmare, try and protect Roger, so maybe he can get into Shadow Realm, won't happen, a Beast Grip, CCNC is controlled and held in position, allowing Ramses to kill off PPD, now he turns his over towards the Alchemist. Concoction's done was pretty damn good, the BKB was already down for the Broodmother, no one was protected, the double buybacks in from OpTic, Drow Ranger now opening up on Pasha, he doesn't need the Sentry Ward, no way to escape, and this is a huge fight, everyone knows that the buybacks are coming thick and fast. Primary thing is Roshan, he is the main man that everybody wants to get. He has Aegis and Cheese, the Spiders can watch it. But VP have to go defensive too, no one just took out the top lane. And he's finished up his Radiance, a new change up for the next fight.
Huge moment for OpTic. They got, how many buybacks were even used there? 2 for both sides, but both the Brood and Tiny buybacks expended from VP.
And it was Jakiro and Dro for OpTic.
And the BKBs are running lower and lower for this Virtus Pro side. Now Bloodseeker down to 8, Brood down to 6. And he used his whole BKB on killing the Jakiro.
5 flies off cooldown, the Pasha exploding PPD. Now go towards the skies, Ramsey's going in, his BKB will now be triggered, he's trying to keep Pycat down. Keeping away from,
Terrorized Rupture combo.
How much can CCNC maintain here? He's got his concoction, the double stun is up, CCNC wants to keep battling at 33, the perfect stun with the Curse Ground, it tags him up too, Zai wants to stand his ground, Pasha, he's got the toss up Pycap, the swap out, but no one's back in, everyone's so low, his speedy got no one, he'll catch the distance into no one. Onto CCNC, finding the kill, 33's up and towards the air, the burn is still real however. The Flame Break doing its work, 33 will sacrifice his life, buyback was there from the Alchemist, 33 does go down to Pasha's last swing, but Concoction flies forward, they have to split, Nightmare from Solo, so beautiful, dodges the attack, Dark Willow can get to the Shadow Realm, another Concoction, up for the Alchemist, looking for the target, the Shiva's Guard will find the kill and CCNC will stun himself, there's no follow-up however, everyone's practically dead.
These fights are so crazy. The Alchemist, it looked like he was going to die so much earlier in that fight. He's ruptured up, he gets terrorized, runs away while bleeding, and still CCNC surviving on 5% health when that rupture expires. Gets to reset, going again, does die in the end because no one had like 900 move speed from those 3 super low heroes. And it's OpTic this time that have to burn the buybacks.
Every single person on OpTic currently has buyback on cooldown. That's how much they've committed, and Roshan is still alive. He's regenerating at least.
Oh, there's a big item coming up too. Can't forget about this. Pasha is still making item progress. He's getting a 10-second BKB for this next fight, and he has been really countered by this Batrider in some of these engagements. He can now ignore the sticky napalm for 10 seconds. What he can't ignore, however, is that OpTic should be able to grab this.
Oh, Pasha's thinking about it. Here comes the Terrorites, flies it forward. CCNC and Pycat both BKB. There's no counter. Roger has to defensively all set her up. Concoction's flying in. He's got no Shadow Realm available, so Roger will die. The Curse Crown is on the PPD, and no one wants to make the most out of it. PPD, my God, he just cannot live with this. Neither can Zai. A double kill for the man. There's no one. They go deeper. The Avalanche, he'll catch over on 2. Tiny, Pasha tossing him up, putting that 10-second BKB to work. Remember, they use their BKBs to take the Roshan. So OpTic are on the full run. A tree toss, they can four-stamp him up. That's 33, holding onto his core, who can then give the cheese over. So Pycat, a little bit more life, but the reinforcements have arrived. BKB from Ramses. He wants this kill. He wants these dead people. 33, can't even get the lasso. He got ruptured and silenced. He never got the control.
Oh, yeah, 0 buybacks, like you said.
Yeah, there's nothing.
He can go straight down mid. Sure, you've got an Aegis of the Alchemist, but you're playing a 1-on-5 right now. Sure, Jakiro is going to spawn. That's 1.2 versus 5 this game.
The only thing they need is the creep wave. Roger's taking care of that right now. They'll be battling backdoor regeneration. So this gives OpTic a little bit of extra time for the defense. Alchemist putting down the acid spray. Anything he can do to slow down Virtus Pro. Shiva's got as well, but Solo. They've got the Curse Crown, the Nightmare, CNC. He has to burn the BKB, but the Avalanche toss into the back line and actually throwing PPD towards the VP side of this fight. Alchemist still the sole survivor. Concoction flies forward from CCNC. He'll connect onto Ramses, but they're losing mid-ranks. There's no way that OpTic can actually initiate into this, especially with the dead Batrider. And the dead Drone, and the dead everybody. Diffuser Blade, they'll break 3, caught inside the Bramble. Curse Crown as well is more of a control factor from Virtus Pro. Taking out first the mid, now the bottom. CCNC can sit there and watch. He's actually controlled. Fiend's Grip, not even there yet. He's just reeling from the Terrorize. Locked inside the Bramble, and Pasha tosses him out. The Aegis Immortal that dies in mid-air. He was ruptured up, and Virtus Pro, all they want to do is leave. And they're able to do so. 2 lanes of racks to VP.
2 lanes of racks, Aegis and Cheese. And all of OpTic's 5 buybacks on cooldown. This is a huge advantage now.
Under attack.
This win expectancy graph is quite something. And this game has been a roller coaster.
Up and down we go.
That's not updated yet, by the way, I think. Should be lower than... Oh, it actually is. 76%. So, okay. It's still... Dota Plus gives them 1 out of 4 of winning this game, OpTic. I think it will have to...
You look towards...
It will have to be with the next Aegis, though. I don't think they can play aggressive without the next Aegis. It's going to be really, really difficult.
I'm wondering how they even do that. Counter pushing is just so difficult at the moment. The only way it's going to get better is if like CCNC gives... it's like an Aghanim set for the Drow Ranger, so you can start pushing back faster, but... Like,
it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, but Drow's almost a non-factor in these fights, and you're seeing the target priority of Virtus Pro. They're always staying on top of the Drow.
You gotta have PPD on AFK duty bottom. He's gonna be clearing waves for a while now. He's such a low value kill that even if he dies, it doesn't matter too much. He has to push out these waves, so VP have less information, less space to work with.
33.
They are trying for a move. Okay, he's got the lens. This will help a decent amount. Obviously cannot go for time. Yeah, this kill does not exist right now. He has the status resistance, he has a blade mail, 3,000 health and 30 armor. No, not the target. They need to find the lasso on ideally the Broodmother before Ramses gets his buyback again. 1.5 minutes away. He spent all his gold to get a Halberd, knowing that he has no buyback. But if they find that sweet spot, OpTic,
I don't know
I think that's the win condition here, is finding and killing this Brood that doesn't have buyback. But I'm not sure they're aware of the timing.
I don't know how you do it. Like, you look at Solo's position, he's always right behind Ramses, ready for a nightmare. And then Roger's got his own save through the form of the Terrorize. If these BKBs are not up for OpTic, they'll just start running away and killing themselves. And even their BKBs is 6 seconds now on CCNC. And he's the frontliner. He's the one that really needs it. And Virtus Pro, they're up in the fly spot. Looking to bounce down.
Yep. They're gonna, I think the way VP wants to try and take this fight, first of all, they probably want to get the Brood buyback again. And I imagine they might try to go for a Rupture Toss combo on the Alchemist, and then they just run at him with both their Blade Mails activated, with Bloodseeker and Tiny. Try to kill him off.
OpTic are coming out. That Shrine is brought down by Pasha's last hit. No one, blink in, 33! He couldn't find the target, they just tossed no one forward! 33 will at least get the lasso. Dark Willow trying to help down the Curse Crown. 33, he can actually just die on the top lane. Ramses was in the middle of OpTic. His BKB is gone. The Heaven's Halberd disabling up Alchemist, and they're all terrorized. Pycat gets his crown thanks to the BKB, but Pasha is just clubbing him down with trees. CCNC can get the concoction out, but Ramses, he just tanks. You can't kill him. Okay, you can kill him, but the follow-up is still going to be there. Defensive, Yule Scepter up. Alchemist done by the Curse Crown. Dead for 2 minutes. That may just be the game. PPD can buy back, but what real good is that? Zion's running back to the base. The sole survivor for OpTic Gaming, and Solo dumps him on the head. They're ready to finish the job, and that really is it. Virtus Pro, they will take the top lane of racks, and there appears to be no hope left for OpTic.
Well, they're thinking twice about it here.
What's the defense, though? You've got Macro Pyre in 5 seconds that can potentially defend the top.
Pasha's pushing him in. They wanted to Blood Rage Pasha and have him clear out a creep wave to get almost full health. Now he's back here.
There's kind of one last fight to come in 20 seconds. If PPD can survive that long. But he's got Tranquils, Ring of Protection, and Magic Wand. That is nothing. Everyone's dead for OpTic. The tier 4 talents have opened up. It would take the ultimate Blink Lasso 4-star, pulling no one underneath the fountain, and then you've still got another 4 heroes to deal with. And Virtus Pro, are they giving him the respect? Are they gonna bounce out?
Appear to be, yes.
Oh no, this is the Rock's Kiss. Pull out, then come back in again. Pycat's close, he'll get the gust over on the bait. Terrorize flying forward, it was only a bait. And now the Rupture. Pycat burns the lasso. They found a target. It's gonna be tiny, but he BKBs. Pycat will die. He was already ruptured up. He could not run away from this. And they are taking the tier 4 towers. Buyback is up. The Concoction actually, and Flame Break flying forward. Concoction, CCNC hits himself with it. And Virtus Pro, they are retreating. They're low on life. This is no risk. You're one loss away from being eliminated from TI8. No risk, Dota. Full safety. Double layers of protection.
I think they have all 5 buybacks available again now on VP's side, as it looks, so...
Everything but the Dark Willow.
Oh, Dark Willow in 1 minute. So they have everything else to work with. OpTic are mega, there's no Roche play available just yet. VP have 2 choices, basically. They can wait for everything and try to fight at Roche, or just claim the Roche and then end the game, or they can go and fight OpTic in their base and not even give any chance of Roshan becoming a factor. But for them, the most favorable play is to wait, most likely. But it's VP. They don't have to do it.
4-man smoke
and
up.
they might not do it at all.
They're coming in through the north. It's 30 seconds before Roshan could potentially spawn up. Virtus Pro just want 1 pick. The Drow will respawn in 6 seconds time. And OpTic only have 1 tier 4 tower that's barely standing. Pasha, you know he's the man to initiate. Look for the target. CCNC comes to the front lines. So if no one can get the Rupture and they get the toss back, then this is going to work for them. And there it is. Rupture to begin with. CCNC just wants to get back into the fountain. The Terrorize is up. He'll cop a lot of damage, but then regenerate it up. Beating into the tier 4 tower. It's down already. The Blood Right keeping OpTic contained. Same with the Bramble. CCNC can use BKB to try and escape from it in the lasso. They found a target. It's no one. They're him in, but he's still got BKB plus Blade Mail. Pycat just wants 1 kill, but he can't even get a support. This really is too much power. Virtus Pro are unstoppable, and GG. Virtus Pro will level the series. We may go 2-0s in the early part of this playoff, but everything now, it always goes to 3.
Yeah, this game had a lot of exciting fights. At one point, it looked like OpTic were actually coming back in this